All right, guys. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for everyone that took the time this morning to come in. I'm very surprised, especially when you do a free call, something that's usually free, people don't come. It's not as many people, but you guys are really serious. You're here for a reason. And really, what I want you to think about is one of the reasons why you're here is because with all the noise and saturation and everyone talking, agencies, marketing, Facebook companies, ad companies, consultants, whatever. What's up, Steve? You're here because like you're watching me like cut through the noise. Like everything that I'm talking about is cutting through the noise. The saturation. People think there's saturation. It's not that there's no saturation. It's that your content sucks. That's just the reality, right? There's no saturation. Your content's just not good, right? Like if you have good content, Mo, you cut through the noise. And that's why you're here because I cut through the noise because, I've stopped being scared about what people think. Honestly, like the number one reason why your marketing fails is because you're scared. You're scared, fear. Like oh, I'll offend this one. I'm afraid to say that. Like you're holding back, right? So that's why you're here. And the whole purpose of the content machine is this is like there's no really option. Like what I'm about to show you today, whether I help you or you work with someone else or whatever I'm about to go over, like this is why schools are struggling so much. They're struggling so much because you're not getting your message out there and you're relying just on advertisements or just ads, and you're not putting out like your voice. You're not really, and I have so many tools for you today that are free that I'm going to give you. So you'll get access to all of them. And then for anyone that's really interested in moving faster, at the end, I'll tell you how you can work with me and my team and how we're doing stuff. But that's really what's going on right now. Like everyone's relied on, like everyone's watching the same people, the same things, and like you have to just stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Um, I was at the gym the other day, excuse me, and I told you about my shoulder being injured, Mike. And so this guy was like, "Oh, you got to follow this guy, you got to follow that guy, you got to this guy's doing that." I said, "Listen, bro, I don't follow nobody. Like I'm not on my phone following a bunch of people watching their Instagram videos. Like I'm a leader. Like I'm a content creator. Like, and he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. Like I'm not trying to be whatever." I said, "No, man." And that's what I want you guys to start thinking about. Are you a consumer watching all these people? Like, I love my wife to death. She's a consumer, Mo. She's every day she's sending me 65 Instagram reels, a bunch of people, and then she gets mad at me. She's, "Why aren't you watching it, babe?" I said, "Babe, I'm creating. I'm not consuming. I don't have time. I have tablets out right now like this, constantly thinking about angles, positions, what I'm giving away, what value could I create, like what else I need to improve on, what else do I have to do to make the content machine work." And Akka knows it took us a while to get this content machine going. It really did. But now that it's all working together, I want to share with you exactly what you need to do. And then really the call for you guys is when you start going through all this stuff, like Randy, Nathan, all of you guys, what I really want you to do is it's really just reflecting and looking in and saying, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And so that way, when you're upset and you're saying, well, I'm not getting the numbers I want, I'm not getting making the money I want, just remember me in your head, like I told you this. And you're either going to make the excuse of why you're not doing those things. Some people will do that. Some of my best friends do it, and I call them out. I'm like, you just allow yourself to make these excuses rather than saying, you know what, you're right. I'm just going to go make the money so I can do that. Because it probably will come down to money. You either need to pay someone else to do it, delegate it, work with us, work with someone else, whatever. But that's really what it comes down to. You're not gonna. I can't do Facebook ads. Like I'm not. You need to do traffic. There has to be some type of traffic. I don't. I can't do Google. Like if you already lost the battle when you're saying that stuff to yourself, like find a way to not make excuses. Okay. All right. So everything I'm showing you, don't worry. Like it'll be in the Mabba group. It'll be in the Brotherhood group. Like so, if you have to leave early or anything like that, you'll get access to it. I'm not. There's. It's all free. Like you'll have access to everything I'm showing you. Okay. All right. So let's go. Without further ado, let's go into that now. Um, Yeah, I wanted to start first with this, guys. I want to start first with this. This is the MABA website. Okay. And the reason why this is important is because I just want to show you the formula that I made, that I use, that I'm going to show you, Joe. This is the same formula why you're on this call. It's the same formula of how I created the Brotherhood, which has 150 members in that. It's the same formula I used to create Vibe Kickboxing. So this whole thing that you're seeing, this Martial Arts Business Association, Like what I'm showing you, should write this down. It's movements over marketing. Some of you guys are marketers. Like I create movements. You want to create movements. A lot of people talk about them, but they don't have a movement. You might talk about having a movement, but you don't have a movement. That's what this is. So I looked at what was out there in the industry. Like I actually believe there's more agencies, Joe and Nathan, than there's actually martial arts schools. I swear to God. Like I see more agencies popping up than actual schools, right? More consultants and this expert, that expert. So to me, like I started, like when I opened our gyms this month, me and Aka, we have about 10 gyms that opened. We got bombarded with all different types of people messaging us about services. So what I did, everyone, was I let them pitch me. I wanted them to pitch me. Like some of them didn't even know who I was. 25 years I'm in the martial arts business. They didn't know who I was. They're only 2 years in. They didn't do their research. They don't know anything. But I wanted them to pitch me. And then when I asked them these questions, I was so taken back because Joe, some of the questions I asked them, like they should not be running ads for anybody. They are absolute morons. I call them deep fakes. I call them like you should not be running ads for someone when you've done nothing for your own brand or any type of business. You're average, below average marketer, and it was littered with that. So then I looked at other groups in the martial arts, and I said, look at what they're doing. Like nothing's happened with them. And if you notice, what will end up happening is literally we will help elevate everybody because even the people that are watching us, because that's who watches you. All the people that are like all your competitors, they're the ones watching you even more. So all the other groups, consulting groups, and associations and stuff, they're watching us heavily. And you're going to watch now, Joe, like they're going to elevate. They're going to start doing more stuff because they became stagnant. All right. So this is what we did. We just made it this website. Here's some of the people and the brands that are some of our partners that we work with. Okay, I put that on there. I literally made this. I sold out MABA. We did it free for the first 200 schools without even having a website. All right, Nathan. We didn't. So I want you to think about these things when you're doing something. And if you're the reason I'm showing this to you is because what I would say to you is, what association are you making locally for your own business? Like that's like you need an association, some type of group, some type of council. All right. Like people want to get behind a movement. They're not just going to get behind your school. What are you doing for the greater good of your community? Is it making kids confident again? Are you the confidence club for kids? Like, are you like this thing for families, bonding families together? You might not know the answer right now. That's okay. But that's what you got to start thinking about. All right. So then from here, this call that I'm doing right now, that will be the course. See, I already have the course right here on the website. Joe, you see it right there? So this will be the free course that I give away. Like whatever you're giving away has to be freaking badass. Okay. It can't be some lame ass like offer. It's got to be something so valuable that people are just like, wow, the free stuff's better than the paid stuff. Okay. The mission. So if you notice on here, I keep using like letters M&M, like MABA, mission, movement. Okay. All the different things. So that's on purpose. Okay. The colors, everything. It's simple. And then I talk about like the leadership council. I have some really good people on my council, legends of the martial arts. Some of you guys didn't even see this yet. I didn't even ask you if I could put you on the website. I just did. Like, so those are some of the people that are part of the council. And then from here, I didn't put the video in yet. Like, this is what all of you guys are going to get this. It's a 100-day Kid Warrior transformation. It's for everyone on this call. It's for you to give to your students and your leads. A 100-day Kid Warrior transformation. Whether they are not coming in and their leads at home, or they're actually your actual students. It's a video. I have the graphics. I have everything included free for everyone on this call. So if you notice on my website, like it's not a bunch of audits and like, hey, like free website evaluation. Okay. Lame stuff. It's like, no, here's the goods. Let me give it to you. Let me show you what I got. All right. And then what happens is when I get people on phone calls, there's nothing to sell because they've already said like, all right, Nick, like I know I'm missing a lot of things. What do we need to do? I watched everything. Like, how do I put it all together? All right. So these are, again, the video's not on there yet. It'll be on there probably later today. And then I have my MABA monthly membership. Okay. All it is there's a money making library. That's what we call it because my content makes money. So we call it the money making library. That's emails, text messages, campaigns, like value creation, like the things I mentioned. And then every Friday we do weekly best practice calls. Best practice calls are things regarding tuition, pricing. I believe that the martial arts pricing models are severely outdated. Everyone charges $199 a month. You have a BLAPA club and a master club. We're showing people how to do way more modern type memberships. Consumers have changed, but we're still doing the same pricing models from 20 years. That has to change. You should not be having a program called the Black Belt Club. I might have hurt some of your feelings, but if everyone has the Black Belt Club, what makes you unique? Okay. It should be a different, unique name. Call it anything other than the Black Belt Club, honestly. Like you should be calling it something unique around your brand. All right. And then there's a bunch of quotes from people I worked with over the past 20 years. Some of you guys are probably on here. So that just scrolls through with a bunch of, testimonials. I believe I've worked with more school owners than anybody in the martial arts industry, specifically because of my time at Champions Way, when I worked with over 4,000 martial arts schools. When people wanted to cancel or they were struggling or whatever, I consulted them for nothing. That's what I did. So that's how I worked with so many schools. So I have thousands of testimonials in there, actually. The MABA movement. So these are our scripture statements for us, by us. So that's really started sticking. When you're making your own movement, Joe, and everyone on here, all this stuff, this is why your marketing sucks. I'm telling you right now, everything so pay close attention. I'm showing you right here. Like all these things right here, if you're using the same outdated things like Black Belt Excellence and integrity, perseverance, all the old stuff, it's not unique around you. You're using the same thing as everybody else. These scripture statements, like I live by them. So for us, by us, like that's one of our scripture statements for our martial arts schools, by martial arts schools. Who could be against us? Okay, that comes from the Bible. All right, if God's not for us, then who's against us? Okay, so lead from the front. That's one of my favorite scripture statements. We use it for the brotherhood. We use it for this. Be the example. They for everyone on this call. Like, are you the example that you're selling? Are you the result you're selling? Are you an example, or are you kind of out of shape and you let yourself go? Like, and then discipline over motivation. Discipline is the new sexy. Like motivation is like, that's only going to, fire you up and stuff, but it's the discipline. All the stuff I'm showing you today, everything I'm going over, it's going to be painful. It's going to be tedious. And that's why discipline will win. Like, it's not about being pumped up and everything. It's about when you're having to sit on the computer and add a bunch of videos or have someone else do it and delegate to your team and coordinate the effort. Like, it's not easy. Everything I'm showing you is not simple. It's not fast. We're not the quick rich group. Like, this is the group that says, I have a responsibility to get my message out to the community. Every day you're waking up, Joe, and you're like, I have a responsibility to tell people how I'm changing fucking lives. Every day I have a responsibility. When you have that type of passion, then it'll transcend into your marketing. All right. Making the martial arts business great again. All right. So that's one of our statements. And then anyway, this is the page. It's not even live yet. Not even live. All right. But I wanted to show you, like, this was literally created, Joe, in 2 weeks. Like, I created this in 2 weeks. Right. The Brotherhood, that's been up for about 8 months. Then we had Vibe Kickboxing. We did the same exact thing for this, right? So that's what I've been doing, helping several brands stand out more and not look the same. So that's what we do, right? So you'll get a link to that later. It'll be the martialartsbusinessassociation.com. All right, so I just wanted to show that to you. And now we'll go into everything I'm going to teach you today. All right, so. All right, guys, so I call this the content machine. And the reason why I call it the content machine is I believe that every one of us on here needs to create their own content machine. Like, Joe, like, it's not my content machine. I'm showing you like what you're going to need to do to put everything together. So you, Randy, you, Nathan, Christine Bannon, all of you guys, you have your own content machine. This is the reason why you need to have your own content machine, is because like the ads will not cut through. Like, people don't care about your ads as much. That helps with traffic, but that's just not going to be enough. Okay. So, hey, Vita. So that's what I call the content machine, and I'm gonna go through all the steps to do. All right. So this one right here, this is gonna like really help you fast forward super quick. This is so important, but a lot of people will do this and then they'll neglect it. To me, I'm an artist. Okay, that's where I come from. I love art. I love drawing. I've been doing that since I was a kid. Everything I do, I believe, is a work of art. I think marketing is the ultimate work of art. So I just created this again because some of you guys have heard of the Documented Truth, John. Some of my clients have on here that have worked with me before and are still working with me. We have a Documented Truth. I made a new Documented Truth. I call it Documented Truth 2.0. And I've said that the Documented Truth 2.0, even the old Documented Truth, I said it should always be evolving. So I'm gonna walk you through this. I'm gonna show you the new Documented Truth. And what I'm gonna do, here's a really, you guys are so lucky you came here. What I'm going to do for anyone on this call that fills out the Documented Truth, and you actually fill it back in for me, like it'll be subscribed to me. Like, there's a form, and you'll put it out. Anyone on this call that does it and fills it out, I want to create for you 30 days worth of emails and text messages and messaging that you could use for your brand. And here's the thing. It has to be done like by Monday. Okay. Like that's the ultimate like deadline for it. Not next week, the week after. So there's a digital form. I'm literally going to take what you made and I want to make you 30 days worth of messaging and content based on your document of truth. So that's something I normally would charge, I don't know, probably $1,000 for. But when you see this, then from there you'll know, okay, exactly like what you should be producing all the time. So when I make it for you, you'll be like, oh my God, this is a lot of stuff. Like, yes, but everything is congruent and in alignment with the document of truth. All right, everything that, so that's the number one word I want you to really think about is alignment. What I'm showing you right now is how to have marketing alignment. Some of us don't have marketing alignment. So meaning that your website is outdated, your ads, like, they're just not really effective because they don't look like you or whatever. Like you're not putting out any types of reels. You have no YouTube shorts. Your graphics look like garbage. Like they look old and outdated, right? Your messaging's severely old, right? And then even yourself, like you're out of shape yourself. You're not keeping yourself together. Like it has to all come together. Like where it's just you're gonna be like it's not gonna be a line the way it should. So the document truth, I'll come back to that, but this is how I make all my marketing. So when I did the MABA, the Martial Arts Business Association, I went back to the drawing board, Dan, and I started going in with the same framework, and then that's how I created the movement off of that document. Okay, so I'll show it to you guys in a minute. I'll come back to that. Um, this is what the content machine consists of. So like this is your time right now, Dan, to say to yourself, like, I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. Like I'm not like where are you at? This is like your little evaluation. Okay. So the first one will be your website. Like, is your website like modern or is it severely outdated? Like so like your website, is it congruent like with everything else you're talking about, or are those pieces missing? All right. So your website, only you can answer that question. Maybe it is good. Maybe it's not, but that's up to you. All right. Number two, YouTube Shorts. All right, so YouTube Shorts, we're now putting all those videos on our websites. Greg Hussey was the first one to do it for us. When people are going to static websites, which all the martial arts websites are static, like every company has static websites. Some of them look severely fake, but static is even worse. Static means that there's nothing that's dynamic in there. So video content, you better start becoming good at creating content and making videos. So on your website, you want to have a section of YouTube Shorts and Reels. That way, when someone gets to your website, Tom, you can turn a glance into a stare. They're going to your static website and they're losing their attention span, so they leave. When they go to your website and there's a bunch of videos of you talking about the problems that people have and how you're going to solve them, and evidence of people that have had the problems that the people have, and now they've seen how they've overcome those problems. Like that think about it, it's like everything on there has to reinforce everything you're selling people. So without videos on there, Tom, the picture and the testimonial from Google does not have the same impact. So you'll see us, Greg. I think I put those, Greg Hussey. I put your videos on your website. I believe they're on there. Check them out. Facebook ads and Google, right? So now we start getting to everyone has a website mostly. If you don't, that's they need to get one today. Most people do not have YouTube Shorts yet, and now we start getting Facebook and Google ads. So some people, they run Facebook ads, and then or they run one or the other. So when I talked about finding a way to do both, you need to find a way to do both. Google is when people go on the search and they look and they find your location. Maybe they find you, but it's better to pay and get and guarantee that they find you. Facebook ads are for like people that are not really looking for you, but it's giving you visibility. Your reels, like this is very important. If you don't have the money to expose your reels, that is not my fault. That's your fault. Make more money. Like, oh, Nick, it's so expensive. You already lost. You're losing the battle with your mindset. A lot of things I'm talking on here today, like it's your mindset that's going to keep you holding you back. So when I say about you don't have the money to, you're running an ad for a trial, yes, an evergreen type ad, but then you're not doing anything to give something to people, like the things I'm going to show you later on, like a giveaway that built a relationship with someone. That's not my fault. That's your fault. You need to find a way to be able to afford that. Okay, now well, I just can't do that. So you can't give value out to your Facebook audience. Okay, like no, I can't. Okay, well that's why you're losing. Like, look at what I'm giving. Look at my ads that I'm doing right now. Nothing is even selling anything. Everything Aka's doing is giveaway, giveaway, giveaway. Kids 100-day transformation. I'm giving this away. I'm going to give the content machine away. Like, I'm investing in giving value. Okay. So Google, well, Nick, I can't afford to do Google. Again, your mindset, you're losing the battle. Okay. Let me figure out how I can afford to do Google. So I'm going to go do 5 private lessons this week with this one guy who I know loves me, or someone else. Okay. Instagram Reels. If you look at your Instagram page, there's no Reels on there at all. Go look at Coaching Boss. You're seeing now phase 2 of my Instagram page, Coaching Boss on Instagram. Like, I did about 12 things for brotherhood. Now everything goes into Maba. Okay. And then the next thing after that, so it's going to be brotherhood, Maba, right? And the next thing after that, it's going to be again back to brotherhood. Then I go back to Maba and I rotate it. That's all I'm doing. It's nothing, not that complicated. Yours might be, John, kids martial arts, kickboxing, kids martial arts, kickboxing, kids martial arts, boxing, birthday parties, whatever the main things you're doing. If you think that people are going to go through and read your posts on Instagram, like, and it's not clearly outlined what it is and it looks like a bunch of mess, then it's not going to be effective. You need to be on Instagram because that's where the younger people are. The younger people are going to your Instagram page and they're looking at it and they're saying, wow, this person only has 200 likes or like 200 followers, this brand. And that's concerning to them. So you have to find a way to get more people to your Instagram page just for perception. And then the layout, like I mentioned, you want to have just put some reels on there, make it simple what it is, and what are the main programs you're offering. The next one will be graphics. All right. So graphics. Are your graphics in alignment with everything else? Or are you using bits and pieces of like your own Canva ones you're making or some free service you're getting or whatever? Like all this stuff, this is what consists of the content machine. And look what's in the middle, Tom, the document of truth. So when your marketing stinks and it's not sticking, when your marketing is not like cutting through the noise, all right, it's because you did not put enough work into the document of truth. You did it once. You're not obsessed about it. You're not a psycho lunatic like I am. And you're like pushing it and trying to say, I needed to make sure it sticks. I'm spending hours on ChatGPT, not 2 minutes, right? The document of truth, that's the key. When all these things are up and they're not working, go back to your document of truth. It's weak. You're not making a stand. You don't stand for anything. You don't stand for anything. You don't stand against anything. I'll come back to that in a second because it's that important. All right. And then the marketing savant, like I believe that so there's some people in my brotherhood group. And then at the end of the webinar, I'll show you like what I'm also doing right now for people. I think that you need someone that's going to keep it real with you and just tell you why your stuff's not working. So either, you're working with us and you're in our group in some capacity, or you're like, Nick, I want to move faster. I want to work with you. Let's go. And I know there's a couple people on here already that I've been speaking to. They've been waiting for me, and I'm now ready to go because I wanted to get this organized. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I want to get out of here for a second, and I want to go to this document. Okay, the document of truth. So this is what I want to go through this right now to walk you through. So this when I talk about mindset, this is how my marketing crushes. All right. So, and this is what anyone that does this today and over the weekend, I'm going to help you make all of your emails and your messaging and your posts and put something together for you. And then from there, whether or not you implement it or not, that's on you. So top part doesn't matter. All right. Some of you guys have heard the 3 core values. The 3 core values of the brotherhood: family, faith, and fitness. What are the 3 core values of your business? Okay. Family, fitness, focus. Okay. What are they? Doesn't have to doesn't have to rhyme like mine or have the same letters. Doesn't have to. It should becomes that they're called core values because it comes from your core. It's who you are. That's so when I say alignment, when you say like, yeah, we're all about, whatever, faith, but you haven't been to church or you don't believe in God, it's not gonna work. So like these 3 core values have to come from the core of you. Who are you? What do you stand for? Okay. What are you about? Core value explanation. All right. So the MABA, making the martial arts business great again and exposing the deep fakes. That's what we're about. Like, I'm giving you examples. All right. So what is yours? Like, what is your core value explanation? Like these 3 things: family, faith, and fitness. We live it, we breathe it. Okay. And we're about it. Whatever it is, like put it in your own words. If you can't explain your core values, then go into ChatGPT and say, hey, my core values in this, give me a great way to explain this. Like use the AI tools to help you with stuff like this for sure. You know what I mean? So you do that, you fill that out. Stand for statements. Choose three things you absolutely stand for. These are values and principles that guide its actions and decisions. We stand for excellence, integrity, and respect in the martial arts and in life. Okay, we stand for, freedom, um, focus, and fitness. Like what are like you guys know, I obviously stand for freedom. Like I lose clients because sometimes I speak out about it too much, and I don't care. Like that's the thing. I don't really don't care if I lose some people. All right, and that's the thing. You will offend when you do this the right way. You will with your messaging. You can expect to offend 20% of the audience when you're really putting this stuff out there. When you're not, then you're going to be caught in the saturation because you're not changing anything. You're afraid to say anything of what you stand for, what you stand against. Okay, stand for explanation. So put that in there too, and then your stand against statements. I stand against pedophiles. I stand against deep fakes. Okay. I stand against people that haven't done shit in the martial arts business and are trying to tell me how to do stuff. Whatever it is for you. I stand against the public school system, making my children think that there's 65 different, whatever they are, genders. Like I stand against the fast food chains that are killing us. All right. I stand against like people not wanting their children to be resilient. Whatever it is, like who are you? What are you about? And like the thing is, like here's the most important part. Like if you stand for something or stand against something, like this is really important because this is where I get all my video reels from. This is where I make all my content from. So if it's not really then what I said in alignment with who you are, you're gonna have a hard time making videos about this. Like I get messages every couple of days, like people like that don't like this, they don't like that, whatever. Like I be prepared for that type of stuff. So if you're attacking, like example, the public school system, you might have some teachers that make you upset. They might get upset with you. Okay. So be ready for that. Scripture statements. I think three is good. If you have five, that's no problem. Lead from the front. They have to be things that stick. They have to be things that are short. Look at MAGA. Make America great again, whether you like it or not. There's one thing I've been talking about this, John, since months now. Whether you like it or not, whether you like MAGA, you don't. It's the biggest, greatest movement ever created in our lifetime. All right, he uses things that are simple. MAGA, MABA, make martial arts great again. Make America great again. All right, the deep state. Okay, all these different things you're seeing from the politicians, like 6 feet apart, social distancing, threat to democracy. Right, it doesn't matter what side, but look what they're doing. All right, like the thing is too, like some people, like I see some people on here, they're usually the brokest people that I noticed. They're saying, "Oh my God, I was taught to never talk about religion and politics." Like I was taught that, and honestly, when I say that they're brokest people, you know why? Because they're the most scared people. They're the most, so that's why their marketing sucks. Look at Andy Frisella. Everything he talks about is politics. You know why? Because it gets attention. Okay, like look at these people that are getting massive amount of people. I'm not saying you need to go up there and talk about that type of stuff, but you can't be afraid to speak your voice of who you are. Okay, your origin story. Your story is their story. Why did you take your first step onto the mats? Because I feared for my life. Right? That's why I got into martial arts. Okay. I got into martial arts because I was at an all-time low personally for myself. That's what got me into karate. Why did I stay committed? It was all I had. I had no other option. It was either dead or stay in the martial arts. All right. What drove me to become a teacher? I was honored. I couldn't believe it that someone would ask me to be a teacher, to give back and help kids that felt like me. Like that's what it was about. Like I know there's a lot of people that felt like I did. All right. Whatever your story is. What drove you to become a martial arts school owner? Yeah, man, I think that for all of us, it was like we realized that we could change lives, like, and we could help so many people that needed it. What drives me today? To have martial arts school owners reach their just like martial arts students, to have martial arts school owners stop being scared and to go for it and to stop limiting themselves of this local audience. Like, so that, I want you to hear what I just said again. What drives me today? I believe all of you are holding yourself back, okay? And your messaging, if you do this right, Daryl, all of you guys could have clients from all over the world, not just in your local area. You're holding back, you're scared, like the way you're doing your pricing models, the way you're trying to market. Like if you put out this content I'm showing you, why could you not have people paying you online? Why could you not be doing courses for people that are Zoom calls like this? Why could you not do workshops once a year where people fly in? You can. You're the only person limiting yourself. That's what drives me. I believe there's so much more for the entire industry. What is the before state of your clients? This one's super important. What is the before state of your clients? What are they like before they come in? Okay, they're depressed, they have anxiety, they're stressed out, they're overweight. Okay, like if you don't understand this, then how are you putting out marketing videos? Like this is like the before state is crucial, and then so is the after state. There, and then the combination of the before state and the after state, and then the actual like same thing like the transition. You're here. There'll be a point where you don't make it, and then finally you get to the after state. Everyone has to reach that critical point, called the critical mass point. Like you're here, you're not, you're have anxiety, you're stressed out, and then you're almost going to quit. And that's right when the breakthrough happens. And then you get this, right? Who or what is your nemesis? People are scared of having a nemesis. Well, Nick, like in my area, like, people will really be upset. Well, then you shouldn't pick that type of nemesis. But what are you fighting against? Like, is it fear? I could take the word fear, create a whole movement around that. Like I could just take that simple principle, John, and say, like, listen, what I do is I help everyone overcome fear. Fear of what people think, fear of the things you're afraid to do. Like that guy just take one word like that, I create a whole thing just on that. So could you. All right. So like what is your nemesis? You need to have a nemesis. What are you fighting against? Right? People like they're looking at you and when they're watching your video, Tom, and it's all about your 6 week offer for 99 bucks or 2 lessons for free, and you sound like a fake commercial. Like they're just looking at you and they just scroll, right? When someone says, stop for a second, I want to tell everybody right now, chances are I'm probably not for you and your kids. I want to tell you why. Because everyone has become weak. Society's become weak. Kids have become weak. Parents have become weak. But I'll tell you this, for the people that are tired of that and are actually falling into that trap and you're saying, I need to make a change, I'm your guy. Like that, those are the types of reels you need to have. Like it's you stop, like you have to stop people in their tracks, not trying to sound like everybody else pushing offers. Okay. What is your core message that resonates with your tribe? For the brotherhood, it's definitely leading from the front. That is the for us, it's like leading from the front. Like, are you the example you want everybody to be? Like even for MABA, are you the example for your students or not? I mean, leading from the front. What are the rituals that make your experience unique? Some of you don't even have rituals. Okay, like rituals, like that one, I could spend an hour talking about rituals. None of you have unique rituals. You need to go into ChatGPT and get a bunch of pre-class rituals, post-class rituals, like when they're not in class rituals, like rituals. So important. All right. So this is don't worry, guys. I'll put this link in there. I'll do it right now. I'll put it in the chat for you. Anyone that fills this out, I got you. Okay. So I'll put this in the chat right now. And then we're going to go back to the presentation. That's the Documented Truth 2.0. All right. How long, Nick, someone says, well, how long should it take me to do this? I could take you hours to do it. It's not about how long it takes you. It's about doing it right. It's about crafting your message so it's on fire. All right. All right. So let me go back to this. All right. So that's Document Truth 2.0. Okay. So Content Machine, we just went back to the Documented Truth. Now, Tom, does it make sense when you see like my Documented Truth and then you look at my website, like my MABA website, my nickjoel.com website, my Winterborn website, like if you look at my YouTube Shorts page, I'll put that in there for you. All my content. Do you see the alignment, Tom, with who I am? Okay, does
Oh
that
yeah.
make Thank you, sir. So like that's why the Documented Truth, if you look at it, it's the center, it's the core. Like that is the thing that you should be working on all the time. And we do it and then we forget about it and we get away from it. That is where when things are not working, John, you go back to the Documented Truth and you say, this is not sticking. People are not getting behind this. You don't just keep doing it. You don't just like if it doesn't work for 3 months or 2 months, you don't just keep talking about core values that you don't hear people talking about. They should be talking about the core values. The core values go in your emails. The core values go in your shirts. The scripture statements go into your email signatures. It goes into everything I'm talking about, your reels, all the stuff from the Document Truth. That is your marketing guide. That's where it all goes. Okay. Instagram Reels framework. Okay. I have this for you too. This is for Instagram and YouTube Shorts. I have the framework for you. Okay. I'm not going to go through this, but this is how to make the videos, how to come up with your topics. Where do you think I get the content for this from, John? Where do I get the content from? Anybody, where do I get the content from?
Other people
Documented truth. Exactly.
document the
Document
truth.
truth. But yeah, John, to John's answer too. Yes. Like you take evidence of other people that reinforce the things in the documented truth. So yes, you could take your own students. That's like testimonials and evidence. Absolutely. But yes, the document of truth. And then Greg, when I'm doing my videos, I'm using the document of truth, and then no one's even talking about them. No one's even saying anything to me about them. That's when you have to go back to the document of truth and say it's not sticking. It's not sticking. What it's all me. The content machine is you. Write this down. You are the answer. Every one of you on this call, you are the answer. Okay. All right. Leads first 45 days, content machine. I'm giving that to you too. When leads come in to your website, we all do the same thing. We reach out to them. We try to call them. We text them. And then after that, a week goes by. We try to do the same thing. And then now here we are 2, 3 weeks into it. We keep following up with them. And then we kind of give up on them. You're not going to give up on them. We have to get over the fact that a prospect or a suspect opted into your website. They might be interested, they might not be. And then we have to figure out, like, okay, let me give them some things that are of value, just like we do with our students, like that they could do at home, that I can give them a win with, that will make them realize like there's some really good value here that I might be missing. I want to build relationships with them, but we don't do anything. We neglect them, and all they're getting are pitches and offers all the time. So this first 45 days, like making a virtual like walkthrough of your studio, having that also talks with 6 or 7 of your students about their experience, talking about what the first month's like, talking about what happens at the first 30 days. Like you're the bus driver, it's your job to tell them where you're going, even for your leads. But we don't spend enough time on this. If you look at everything I'm doing, all I'm doing is I'm doing basically every single start of the process of customer journey. All I'm doing is more than you, John. Everyone on this call, I just do more than you, and that's the definition of a genius. Like most people just do the bare minimum and they don't do any of these other things. The first 45 days are crucial, and we have to stop getting over when are you coming in? When are you coming in? When are you coming in? When they don't tell you you're coming in the first 2 weeks, then it should be about, hey, John, what can I do to help you now? Hey, what can I give you, Dan, to make sure I give you some help? Hey, take a look at this. Let me know what you think. Hey, this is a 100-day transformation for kids. Would you want to be a part of it? So maybe it's only 30 days. Maybe it's only 2 weeks, whatever. All right. So that is a guide I'll give you for that. This one right here, guys. This is exactly what we're doing right now for MABA. This is exactly it's the first members, the first 100 days. If you look at this, I explain to you, it's what Trump's doing right now. It's the first 100 days. He's on fire. Whether you like him or not, you don't agree with him, that doesn't matter. We don't care, right? Like your students, when they become members the first 100 days, you were underwhelming. I have an entire new blueprint for you, a blueprint that maps out like so that way you go through this and you're like, he's right, he's right. I have a decent experience. You're doing 2, 4, 6 calls. Really? Take the 2, 4, 6 calls and throw them in the garbage. Some people are using outdated systems from franchises that were sold and gone, and you're still using those systems. Yes, I'm calling you out. Like, if you're still using like stuff like that from people that are gone, they're not even in it. They don't even care about the system, and that's what you're still using 2, 4, 6 calls. You're doing absent calls. Like even all those things are severely outdated. You should be doing absent videos. You should be doing unique things when people don't come for classes, not just doing the same thing, like leaving a message about where you've been. All right. But the first 100-day journey, like for your students, this is what gives, I call customer shock. Right. So when you go through this document, go through it all and say, wow, so Nick, I would actually get more students from this than probably all the other lead generation I'm doing, because I'll be getting more referrals from this. Yes. You just let it become stale and stagnant, and that's why it's not happening right now. So this 100, it's yours, guys. I'm giving it to you, right? This is one of everything I'm showing you. I've given away for MABA, and then on Monday you'll see the Doc Truth. I'm giving that away too. I'm giving that away for people that want to just try it out. So I'm always thinking about what I'm giving. That's what I want you to write down right now. What are you giving away? What are people getting from you that's of a massive value? That's what you're obsessed about all the time. All right. Content machine strategist and a la carte menu. All right. Here's the cool part, guys. Okay. I'm the content machine strategist. And when I say a la carte menu, everything that I'm showing you, so you guys could go home and think about it, whether it's Facebook ads, Google videos, whatever, like anything I'm showing you, all this stuff could be done a la carte. So it's not like you have everything like we're even changing the way people are doing marketing, meaning that if you need 3 videos for Instagram and your reels, we could do that for you. If you need 1 Instagram reel, you need 6, you need 5, you need a website, you need ads, whatever. All that stuff could be done like that. All right. So if anyone has any questions, we'll talk later, but let me go to now the next part. All right. So Step one, Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. All right. I want to give this to you right now. Here it is. Everything. I'm going to give you all these. So here it is. And whoever's got their volume on, I can't find you. Could you mute yourself, please? Someone's got like they're like not on mute. So here's the first one. Here's the Instagram Reels framework. So if everyone's in here, here it is right here. Thanks, Daryl. All right. So that's the Instagram Reels framework. Okay. That is YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. That is the framework of how to make them. We're actually going to do some of that today in about a half hour, about 15 minutes. We're going to make some videos. But that is a framework for you to use, okay, for everyone to use. They'll help you make your videos. You need to make them. If you're not making these guys, you need to get on them. Talk to Greg Hussey. He's already making them. Good job, Greg. All right, so that's that. All right, so I gave you that. That's step one. Okay, so here's the question for you guys. We're gonna go through this right now. This is for all of you to answer. All right. So, and I want you to think about this because you're all gonna answer it. Or you're gonna type this in the chat. So if you're making videos and you're giving whatever, like people are watching your videos, what is the problem that you're solving? Type that in the chat right now. So let's pretend like whatever, like, it doesn't matter who it is.
What's up, man?
It's different. But I want to know what problem are you solving? Put that in the chat. So if you're making videos, what is the problem? Okay, I love it. Nathan, lack of resiliency. You're solving the problem, the parent's pain point. Okay, that's not specific enough. All right. Lack of confidence. Okay, good. Give me more, guys. Give me more. What pains are you solving? Anxiety. There you go, Greg. I love the Michael Burnoff one that we used before that he talked about, that it doesn't exist. Lack of fitness. Okay. Lack of respect. Okay. What else, guys? Give me more. What problem do you solve? Let's go. All right. Lack of structure, social anxiety. There we go. Children with autism that can't be in a class of 30. I love that one. That's a great one, Claire. All right. Lack of accountability. Screen time, absolutely. Staying safe. Helping children belong, believe, and achieve. Well, love that one. Nice one. That's that. Who's that one? Yeah, that's really good. I like that. That's really good. ADH children. Okay. Staying safe. Parents giving in. Not having family. Okay, good. Mo, what else do you have? Give me something more specific. All right. Self-defense. Okay, good. All right. Let's see what else. Learning real life training for look at those answers too, guys, in there. If I were you, I would copy some of them. They're really good. All right. No confidence. All right. So think about this. It's like all the videos you're making. So this is really important, guys, for this one, for everybody. All right. So all these things we're talking about, what problems do you solve? What you got to start thinking about, every one of you, pay close attention. All right. Your videos, like how are you giving someone something on those videos that could help them immediately with those problems? All right. They're not waiting to come in, Steve. Right, Godfather? We're not waiting for them to come in. It's what can you give them now? Okay, so right now, anxiety. Your child has anxiety. You believe they have anxiety. I want to show you with my simple script. It's a seven step framework that anxiety is absolute bullshit, and it might even beat me out. It might even be it might beat me out, something like that. If you want to get this framework from me right now, comment, send me a direct message, whatever you need to do. I'll get it to you right now. All right. What are you giving? So go into ChatGPT, Nathan. All right. I help people overcome anxiety and fear. Give me 6 things I can give them right now to help them overcome that. That's what your video has to be. Write this down, okay? Because it's not in my framework okay. As soon as you're doing your video and your reel, the quicker you get to what they're going to get from you, the longer they're going to watch it. So what that means, Joe, is if I sit there and say, hey guys, my name's Nick and I work at Champions Martial Arts and I've been teaching martial arts for 27 years. And, I'm also a member of the community. My children were raised here. Half the people are gone. They're already gone. All right. So it's like this, Steve, right? Hey guys, Nick D here. I'm going to give you something right now that will help everyone that's talking about anxiety. I hear it all the time. I'm going to give you something right now you can use today that will help your child get rid of anxiety. So let me tell you how it's going to work. You see how quickly I go to that? Like you need to get to that. Everyone, they already know who you are. They're on your page. As quickly as you can, what are they getting? And then the same thing, like here's the thing. When you start creating these things, I don't even know what they are. Like I have no idea what these things are going to be that you give them. But here's the thing. The whole purpose of why you're doing this is to do what? Why are you even doing this? What is the purpose of you doing this? Anyone in the chat, unmute yourself. Why?
Gain trust.
Gain trust. Okay, that's number one. What else?
Build a relationship.
Yeah. What else? First thing we need to do before we can do any of that,
Show that you're an authority.
start a conversation.
Get them to know you.
Listen, if I can't start a conversation, if someone doesn't talk to me, how could I build trust? Maybe they watch your videos for 6 years, right? But the whole purpose of what you're trying to do is I want Steve, I want Nathan to say, hey man, that sounds really good. Could I get that? Absolutely. I started a conversation, right, Carl? I've now opened up the dialogue. If I don't get the conversation going, then I can't build trust. I can't build a relationship. I can't, how am I going to build it? So imagine I'm going to build a relationship as a mute. No, like you have to start a conversation. So that's why you tell them to direct message you. You tell them to leave a comment. You got to get the conversation going, right? Some people like think about this. Just think about the common sense, which isn't so common anymore, right? All right. If you're talking about anxiety, do you think a lot of parents are going to leave comments about their child not having anxiety? No, they're not. They're not. No one's wants to say, yeah, my child has an anxiety mess. You know what I mean? So for Carl, for someone with anxiety or fear, a lot of times send me a direct message right now. Message me right now. I'll give it to you right now. And then Carl, once that message comes in, now the conversation's begun. That's when the trust starts to be built, and that's when the relationship starts to form. All right, because now you give them something, and then here's the thing that no one will do. You're going to give them something, you're going to make it on ChatGPT, Joe, and then you're just going to forget about them. The people that go a step further, Andrew, and they say a day later, like, hey, Andrew, real quick, did you get a chance to go through that with your daughter? Oh, you didn't? No problem, brother. Listen, can I check back up tomorrow? That's how you're building trust. Because now Andrew's like, damn, I didn't even do this for the guy. He's going to tell his wife, this guy's following up with me. I didn't even do it. I felt so horrible. He actually cares about Hannah, whatever. That's how you do it. All right. So, okay. So now we understand when we say like what problem you're solving, John, you're thinking about this obsessively as often as possible. Everywhere you go, you're looking, when you're inside Walmart, when you're inside like a restaurant, I'll give you an example. I go to barbershops and I think of you guys. You know why? I go to a barbershop, I see a kid with an iPad that the father goes, oh, hold on one second. Let me just get the iPad. Like he won't let us cut his hair unless he's looking at an iPad. Like I look at that, I'm like, what a pathetic father. Like I'm like, the kid can't get a haircut unless he gives his kid an iPad. Like it's like my father would. That's an embarrassment as a kid, and the father's even worse. Like so, I would go home and make a video about that. I'd say, listen, parents, let me tell you this: how many parents have to let their children be on an iPad or be on a cell phone in order to make them do something? Okay, if I got your attention, if that's the way your children are, you are in trouble. If you have to give your kids a cellular device in order to get their attention, it is going to be really bad for you. That you're taking your kids down a really bad path. Does that make sense, guys? I'm at a barber shop, Andrew. I'm inside wherever I'm at. Okay, like you're at a restaurant, right, Carl? You're driving. You're seeing no matter everywhere you are, you're looking for content. The greatest copywriter of all time was Gary Halbert, in my opinion. Okay, Gary Halbert was a millionaire, and Ace, you know what he did every single day? He rode a bus. He would get on a bus, not every single day, but he would actually get on a bus to observe people's behaviors. Because when you start making money and you start doing really well, you think you're better than everybody. So he literally would put himself back in that situation so he could study behaviors, right? You're observing, you are an investigator. The people that will dominate as content, like as with content machines, Carl, like you have a tablet out, you are a behaviorist. You're looking at all these things. And you don't worry about if you keep putting out content, don't worry about how many likes you get. Like that's why you're going to quit. That's why you'll stop. Oh, I'm doing the videos, but no one's what. And then all of a sudden, you go somewhere, John. You go get a haircut, and then someone comes in and they're like, "John, oh my God, I've been watching your videos for 6 months now. That's amazing. You're doing such a great job. Thank you." And you're like, they never said nothing to you. People are watching you. Even the people that hate you are watching your videos. All right. Okay, so that's that question. Let's go to the next one. Hey, Vita, come over here. Hi, Vita. All right, so now let's think about this one. Let's put some answers in this one. All right. Hi, Vita.
Hey, what's going on? Doing good. How about you?
In the chat, and if you have some people in the background, guys, please mute yourself. In the chat, what value are you creating? So if you're creating no value on any of your videos, if you're creating no value with any courses, if you're like this, just be real, nothing. So your content, that's what I'm referring to here. Put in the chat, what value you're actually creating on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I want to see what we get in here. All right. So that would be either you're giving a worksheet, you're giving someone a tip, you're telling somebody that you're going to give them something, or basically you just put in there 0. You're giving out no value, nothing. Just be real. All right, let's see what we have in here. Okay. So nothing. Okay, good. I love it. That's okay, Claire. At least you admit it, right? Right now you're giving no value. All right. Although to say change, but I must admit, not much recently. Okay, Andrew, right? It doesn't matter. Like, listen, guys, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Ace, you remember this? Aki, you remember? About 3 years ago, I was so sick of people that I like coached and worked for me and stuff like that, that I stopped making content. I was just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I don't even want to do it. They make me sick. And you know what? That was a really bad mistake, Andrew, right? Because like this is what I do best. I make content and I create value. And I just stopped doing it because so it doesn't matter what what you're doing right now. Like get back and start doing it. All right, guys. So let's see what else we have here. I love it, Bill. 0. Okay. So right now, let's think about this. Our content machine, we're putting nothing out there. Like that's okay. It's because now here's the best news for that one, Bill. It's only up from here, guys. Right? Greg, you're putting out no value, but so guess what? As soon as you start, like it's only up from here. All right. So that's why, like, when I go over this stuff with you, when I show you some of the stuff I'm talking about, that's why I said to you, like, what problem you're solving, that's where your value starts from, Carl. Like, it's like whatever problems you're solving, that's the value you're creating. So that, and then you're going to say, you're going to do this course. Let me help you. What's going to happen here? Some of you guys are going to offer a course, a free course, and like, no one's going to do it. And then you're going to start realizing what I realized. You're not doing the course for the course. You're doing the course for the content. And that's how you build your list with the people, Carl. Everyone's so busy, but you're triggering them. My son has fear, and they opt in, and you get them into your list, and they might not show up to the course. They know they have the problem, but that's what gets them into your funnel. Does that make sense, guys? Thumbs up if you understand what I'm talking about. Like, it's like, don't expect to have, like, look at this. This is a free call. I'm shocked. I'm honestly. Usually when I do something free, there's like 4 people on it, right? This is really good. If you do a video or some type of value and there's only 3 or 4 people on it, so what? It's all the other people that said yes. And now, Claire, I have a conversation to them. So if 10 people opt in, I want to show you the pipeline because you should write this down. The profits are in the pipeline. All right. That's what you should write down. The profits are in the pipeline. When people opt in and they about fear, about anxiety, about a course, about whatever, like the best part about it now, Nathan, is that I don't have to come from a position of, hey, Ace, I'm just following up with nothing again. I'm following up. I got nothing for you, but are you interested in my shit? Because that's what you're saying. Hey, Claire, I got nothing, but I just wanted to see you again. You're a lead that came in. I got nothing for you. You ready to come in now? No. The difference is with this is I'm saying, hey, Godfather, or sorry, hey, Antonio, it's Nick here. I know that you were interested in my anxiety course. I wanted to see again. Did you have a chance to go through it with your wife? And it's like, no, Nick, I didn't. And what happens, John? The conversation begins. What happened? Just life got in the way? Yeah, man, busy with the kids, the grandchildren, but I really appreciate it. Hey, Antonio, listen, man. Sounds like you're really busy. You instead of even trying to go to the course, why don't you come in? I would love to give you a tour of my school. Show what we can do with the children. Show what we can do with your kids. How's that sound? But it would happen. I got the conversation started. Does that make sense, Dan? Like, it's like, so what? Like, it's not about like not everyone's going to take action, but I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second with these pipelines. That's why you're creating content. Like, it's like, it is a thing of beauty. It is beautiful. Like, you're watching me do it. This is me and Ak have talked about this. This is a controlled growth system. The reason why right now you don't have one is because you're not solving any problems, you're not creating value, and you have no conversations. Once you do, you'll go from the guy who's like this, itching for leads. You're this. I could do a video on it. Like, it's like you're to school and you're like this. Oh my God, I need more leads. I need more. It's like a drug addict looking for heroin, right? You need leads so bad. You shift over to this. You start with the documented truth. You start solving problems, creating value, and all of a sudden you're like me. You're like Akka will tell you. I've been working 15-hour days for probably the past 2 months because if I don't, like, I got to do what I can, Carl. Like, if you have that much business come in, if you have that much business coming in, you got to find a way. Like, for your family. You saw my granddaughter was just over here dying to see me. Like, I have to sacrifice, right? Like, that's my purpose. I want to make sure my wife and my family are taken care of when I pass away, right? So, like, I need to sacrifice. But when it starts coming in and you have all these people talking to you and you have all these conversations, you start building a massive movement like I have going on right now with Maba. Let's face it, everyone's watching Maba. The haters are watching Maba. Everyone's watching Maba. They are. That's why you're here. Like they're all watching it. I have 200 people, 200 schools in a week to do it. And now what I did was see what happens is that's why I said reverse engineer what I'm doing. Reverse engineer what I'm doing. You're doing the confidence club. I already had 200 people jump over the fence. I've taught this technique for years, right, Bill? They jumped over the fence. What happens next week? People start paying for Maba. I didn't have to do a launch. Nick, what's Maba? Oh, it's $100 a month. You want to try it out? Oh, talk to Bill Craig. Talk to Andrew. Talk to Ace Ramirez. Like I've already developed. I already have the people. Like so would you if you had 10 people in your confidence club or your women's group for overcoming anxiety, whatever. Like you have the social evidence. So they jumped over the fence. They already have it, right? But most people they don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to give away anything for free. And the reality is, times have changed. Like if you're afraid to give shit away for free, but no one's coming to the door, and you're like that scratchy person dying for leads, right? You don't have another option. You need to start giving some stuff away. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So I love what you guys put in there, the value. Most people know they need to work on that. Traffic. Okay, this is really, really simple. Okay. Really, really simple. Yes or no. Are you doing Facebook and Google ads right now? Yes or no in the chat, just for you to answer. I'm doing one, I'm doing the other, I'm doing none. So yes, I am, or just Google, just Facebook. All right. So remember what I told you at the beginning of the call? There's only one thing that's happening here. You're either saying to yourself, and Carl, you could even say this to Masterminds, it's true, right? It's like, so you are going to say, well, we hope people find us on Google rather than increasing the odds of people finding you on Google, right? So you say to Masterminds, he's right. Do we try it out? Do we just do it? Bite the bullet, do 3 months and see what we get from Google? Because people that are typing in martial arts, maybe they find you, but when you actually do a Google ad, then they will find you because you're number one on the search index. So like that's it. So there's some people that the Facebook you find them, Google they find you. So it's all like you are in the math business. You should write that down. You're not in the martial arts business. You're in the math business. So you looked at, for example, no content's going out. There's no Instagram Reels. There's no YouTube Shorts. You're not on Facebook, but you have paid Facebook ads and a website. So like that's all you have 2 out of the 7 cogs of the wheel. What do you expect? You know what I mean? That's what you have to ask yourself. Okay. So again, when I said a la carte, you might be having a website with someone else. You're like, Nick, I want to run Facebook ads with you. Great, let's go. You might be doing Facebook ads with someone and be like, Nick, I want to try Google with you because I like whatever. I don't care. Like, or use someone else, right? All right, so that's the next one. Let's go to the next one. That's traffic. Traffic means paying to be visible. Like, like if you're posting organically, that's that's not enough. Like you have to pay for traffic in one way or the other. Okay, email and SMS. Okay, this is it's really sad. A lot of the people I know that need this the most aren't here. And if you think I'm talking about you on one of the calls, I probably am. So if this is in the Brotherhood and you're not here, I just feel so bad for people that just don't get this. Again, like if that was me and I'm not consistently nurturing my list and I can't afford to have it done for me, I would go and get private lessons and I'd say, all right, so I need to do 2 private lessons a month to pay for my lead nurture because I don't do it. Because I'm not going to do it. I don't know how to do it. So you're just letting your leads die. There's just, you basically just don't care and you're not coming with a solution on how to do them. So lead nurturing, email and text messaging, I'm going to show you in a couple slides. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll show you right now. This is what I mean by email and lead nurture. Okay. So, excuse me. So no one's doing this right now. None of you, probably, maybe some of you, but I would say 90% of you are not doing this. This is the way that your emails should look for your leads, right? And anyone that's in my lead nurture, Greg, like yourself, now, brother, this is something I'm giving to you guys. I'm going to help you do this, right? So if you look at this, look what I have: the digital danger zone checklist, right? The screen time shock report, the parents playbook for what does it say? Balance. Okay, there you go. Digital balance. Okay, so this is the way email should look. Okay, this is the way email should look. Right now, most of the people doing email, it looks like just gibberish, right? Like there needs to be graphics, there needs to be appealing. And if you look at the header, this actually is a link that takes them to an opt-in form. And that's why I determine who is interested in my digital dangers checklist. Right now, all of your leads, mostly, you might have them tagged maybe. I have a kids lead, I have an adult lead. What this will do is it will tag them that they were interested in the digital dangers checklist, meaning that that they have a cell phone addiction or the screen time shock. That means they're on their screens too much. Or if this one is, say, for example, the parents playbook so all these are revolving around digital balance. But we make ones for anxiety, okay, stress, okay, like obesity, all those different challenges. When they click this, download the free playbook. All right, this is where it takes them. All right, you see this, John? All right, Dan, you see this? Okay. So they click it, and then you see it takes them to an opt-in page. And look how badass the opt-in page looks, right? These are custom landing pages. So there's two ways of doing this. I have a plan that I do this for everybody where we use your logo and that's it. And then there's people that are like, and this is for the really serious people that are watching this recording. There's a people who are like, Nick, listen, like I love that, I could just take some stuff and it looks a lot better. I want my own stuff. I want you to make it with me. I want it to be the baddest stuff that revolves around what I do. I could do all this with you. And I'll talk to you more about that later on. So anyone on lead nurture, I help you run the campaigns. I make everything for you. We use your logos. That is the most cost-effective way to do it. Like it's a little bit, more cost-effective for someone that's like me, that wants the best, that wants to have the strategist do it with them and all custom. Like Mo, I think you're on there. Julie Rigdon, you guys. This is for someone like for you. We would make it individually for you. So let's go back again. So like when I say text message and email should go out about twice a week. And if you notice this, like these are value-based emails. These aren't offers to get them to come in. All right. Value offers for emails about twice a month. Twice a month for emails, about twice a month for text messaging, maybe 3 times a month, right? But here's the beauty of this one, Steve, right? Not just for my students that are getting this, right? Because I give this to my students too. I also use these for my leads. So like a lot of people think like, oh, why would I give it to my students? Why would I give it to your students? Because it's massive value, Greg. Like you want it, like this is stuff that's already made that takes hours to do it, and then you're reinforcing that. And what'll happen is parents will share this with their friends, so it hits both of them, parents and students. So your leads get it, and then what happens is, guys, here's the cool part. All right, so your students and your leads, Greg, you could start seeing, wow, okay, like look at all those leads now, all these leads right here. Okay, sorry, let me go back. Yeah. So, Greg, these leads that wanted the parents' playbook and opted in for it. What did I say you need when you reach out to them? What are you trying to do? Start a what?
Conversation.
Exactly. So now, Steve, without me, I don't have to say, "Hey, Steve, it's Nick again. I'm following up again. I know I've followed up with you for the past three months, every single day. I have nothing to offer you, right?" What I'm saying to you now, Steve, is this. Steve, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? You're good? Hey, man, I know like you downloaded, I have you on the list, the parents' playbook for digital distractions. Did you get a chance to go through it yet? No, I didn't. No, hey, guess what? The conversation just started, Steve, right? Now I started a conversation. The psychological barrier between me and Steve is much different, Dan. The psychological barrier when I'm following up, what is he thinking? I want to get the fuck off the phone as quickly as possible. I don't want to talk to this guy, right? But when I've given someone something, reciprocity, okay, it's in Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, makes someone feel indebted. They'll at least listen to you and say, oh man, yeah, Nick, I got that playbook. I'm sorry. Hey man, Steve, listen, I know you're really busy. Instead of you coming to the playbook and try to do it at home, come in and just check out my school. We'll go over it together. Could you make it in this week? Maybe I get him to come in, right? But you see what I'm doing, Greg? I'm now determining, and then you're seeing which of these pieces. This also goes on social media, Carl. Like this is your Instagram reel. This is not just one piece of the puzzle. So like I'm not just using it for email and text messaging, Caro and Bill Craig and all of you guys on here. Like you're using it for your reels. I'm making something for you to actually give away to people, right? Because you're not going to do it. The majority of you are not going to do it. So the majority of the people that are crazy, like Muhammad and the people that want to have custom stuff, that's like one level of a marketer and entrepreneur. The other people, Steve, are more like, you're right. I'm giving nothing out. I'm not going to do it. I need something is better than nothing. And then from there, like at least you're giving out value on your videos. You're giving some to your students, and your leads are being nurtured all the time with value. And then the people are in the pipelines. These are pipelines. Okay. This is when I say pipelines and the profits, right? This is what I use every single day. This is how most of you are on this call. You got a text message from me, Rob, this morning. Are you jumping on the call? Right, Dan? I don't even know some of you guys are. I've never even seen you before. Like you joined MABA, you're in the group, right? Why? Because I keep giving out value. And then I bring you to something like this, and then whatever. Some people are on the fence, they're skeptical, whatever. The thing for me, guys, is this, Rob. Some of the stuff you'll be like, you might like some of the stuff, you might not like some of the stuff. But the reality is, at the end of the day, my stuff works. So you might not like my political opinions. That's totally fine too. Like I might not like yours, right? And that's okay. But what I tell people is my marketing stuff works. It's working. It's proven. And some of the stuff you might want to be tailored a little bit different for you, but this is where the money is, right? So this is what your email should look like, right? Then after they opt in, okay, same thing. This is a landing page that you have as well that could be on social media that you put in women's groups, and look at the difference. Notice it doesn't say 6 week special. It's the screen time shock report. These are things I said when I used ChatGPT. Give me things that would shock parents. And it was like the screen time shock report, the digital danger zone checklist. Okay. The parents playbook for digital balance. Okay. So and there's the pipeline. All right. So here's what I'm going to do next, guys. Here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to, like, anyone that wants to hang out for the next 45 minutes, we're going to make videos. We're actually going to start making content, right? It's going to be pretty cool. But what I'm going to do before that, anybody that wants to work with me and wants to watch this recording, this is what I'm offering. Okay. So that's what we're doing. After that, guys, I'll stop the recording, and then we're actually going to make content, and then we're going to get it ready. So that way, like, you're getting some, again, massive value. We're going to make some videos. Well, everyone on here, we have about 45 minutes, which is perfect. Okay. That's all we need. All right. So here's the deal. All right. So first thing is, when we talk about, let's go back to this. When I say a la carte, everything on here is a la carte. If you need a website, I sell them a la carte. If you need Facebook and Google ads, we do them a la carte. You can get Facebook ads, Google ads. If you need videos with Instagram Reels, if you need those types of videos done, we do that as well. Okay. So all those things, reach out to me on Facebook and we will talk about it. So Dan, say for example, like, Nick, I need 6 Reels. I need 10 Reels. How much is it? We'll talk about that. If you're like, Nick, I need a website, no problem. We'll talk about that. If you need Facebook ads, Google ads, whatever, all that stuff, graphics, like, we have everything on here. We do them a la carte. They're all different, right? There's no package that does all of them together because that's a lot. And most people have one or the other. So you don't need all of them, but that's how that works. Now, what I was talking about over here at the end, okay, for lead nurture, okay, for lead nurture, there's 2 different ways of doing this. Okay. That's not included right here. This right here, this is for the people that want to work with me specifically for 3 months. Normally I charge $1,000 a month. Okay. I will work with you for 3 months for $1,500. Okay. That doesn't mean you don't get anything. You don't get Facebook ads. You don't get Google. You don't get anything. That stuff's totally separate. If you are high level because that's what I'm teaching you something right here too. If you are high level and you're like, Nick, I need to get all my shit together, I will do this. You'll help me put it all together. Okay. In one, organized fashion. Yes. So we work together for 3 months for 1,400 hours. Custom content, everything, videos, movement, all of the above, right? That is my highest program that I have. 3 months for $14.99. Everything else is a la carte. Okay. Lead nurture, if you just wanted the emails and stuff that I showed you, that's 75 hours a week. That's what I charge, 300 hours a month. And you'd have all the emails, the software, everything, all the stuff that I create. That is like the basically plug and play system that I have, right? So it's either 75 hours a week, or someone that's really serious, which there's about 10 people that want to do this right now. That's what it is. It's $14.99 for 3 months. Normally I charge $1,000 a month. Okay. That's it. So now let me teach you something right now. All right. And then we're going to go into making content. What I just did right there was this. So you guys are all used to leading with your cheapest offers. Okay. That's why you're losing. Stop leading with your cheapest offers, like, at all times. When you're dealing with mental health and wellness and people that are sick and people that have anxiety, right? Why are you leading with your 6 week special for $99? What you all need to create is something that is more like, Greg, listen, like, I help children with anxiety and depression. It's a customized program. I charge $299 a month and I do it for 3 months. It's called the anxiety, whatever, journey. I like to use the word journey. It's a 3-month program. You charge 300 hours a month, 400 hours a month, 500 hours a month, whatever you charge. You know what I mean? And that's what Fortune 500 companies do. They lead with their best, not with this 2 lessons for $19.95, right? When I said my goal for you guys is to think a little bit bigger and to not be stuck. Like when you're putting out content that I'm teaching you how to do, these are the types of programs you want to offer. Not trying to get people in for group classes. Group classes for me is the downsell. Like, Tom, would it be faster for you to get 5 people paying you 500 hours a month and better for your family, or to wait months to get an increase of $600 a month because you're signing up 10 and you're losing 9? Does that make sense what I'm talking about? Stop fighting the battle that's going to go on no matter what. So you're going to bust your ass for a month to make 100 hours more because you signed up 10 and you lost 9, right? Or you get those conversations going and you get 5 people paying you 500 hours a month, 5 people paying you 300 hours a month. 5 people paying you 300 hours a month is 1,500 a month. That's a better return for your family. All right. Okay. So anyone, guys, reach out to me personally. I'm gonna stop with that. And then that's where we are. And then I'll go into, let's make some content. So thank you guys.